Shut up. So this is Super Mega Baseball 4. Developed by Metalhead Studios, published by Electronic Arts, released on June 23rd, I believe, of this year. Yeah, I actually have another team. This game, I do have to say, is inferior to Super Mega Baseball 3 in most ways. Visuals are not one of them. The announcer that we come to love, not one of them. Oh, I don't want franchise. I want customization. Now, I did put the team together. And by the way, that needs to come down. Because this is a new franchise. The roster is up and running. We got Terrence Hooper, Night Willow Fox, Mia Guwu, Jenny Beans, Not Like Other Gamer Girls, Amber Core, formerly known as Amberst, Obvious Coach, formerly known as Coach Django. Now, Django hasn't been here for a little while, although he does have a reason to. Rudo, you may recall he's been talking about joining the military. I believe that's where he is right now. And it's been about 3 weeks since he's last been here, so he's probably just wrapping up basic training. He's probably not going to be here at all for Season 1, which does kind of suck. But, you know, what can you do? Hi, Obvious Coach. If you do see this, hi. We got Roy Presidente, Draken Hiyu, formerly known as Tatsu, Angel Rose, Chrono Gear, Cornhusker, Aria Frederick, Burt Mad, Era Rudo, Gene Artcore, Glade Gibbs. Why do I still have him? Now I'll get to this one in a little bit. Bald Baseball Dad, Wash Marzo. Now, when they do, now they've been heavily pushing expanded bullpens. What they really mean is expanded rosters. Now here's why I say that. Unlike Super Mega Baseball 3, you can adjust your roster to whatever you want. If we want your roster is now 22 players as opposed to 21. Now, one of the more controversial sides of this game was you couldn't import your teams, your leagues, which does kind of suck, but I can understand it. Because, again, we're changing up the roster. We went from 21 to 22. So, programming that would be really difficult. So, our 22nd player is Prism Chandler. Now, I told this story before. I actually got the idea for this franchise running the same franchise on my Switch. The very first game was a perfect game thrown by Prism Chandler. Now, going through a couple of changes, as you can see, I'm now a pitcher. And that's because of how they do two-way players. Two-way player is a trait, and it's a pitcher-only trait. Now, it's infield, outfield, and catcher. You can only have one. We'll get to that in a little bit because we are going to be building this team. Now, Colorful Bobcat, I'm sure you know that I still haven't activated Sign Me Up. There's a reason for that. This is the start of a franchise, which means for today and today only, it is free. If you want to join the team, now's the time. So, to go through some changes, because we lost my everyday right fielder, I no longer have a functioning roster. And that's something that is extremely important for Super Mega Baseball 4. Because a lot of the player development that we'll see, they will try to take away secondary positions. So it is more important that we have a functioning roster than in Super Mega Baseball 3. So I moved Amberst to right field. I'm keeping her secondary position second base because, you know, she was actually originally a second baseman. Pitch sets. I'm sure you noticed everybody except for Erev Rudo has 3 pitches. There's a reason for this. Player development also allows pitchers to learn new pitches. So I'm limiting everybody to 3 pitches. Aria Frederick, she had a 4-seam fastball, screwball, forkball, changeup, and slider. She now has a 4-seam fastball, curveball, screwball. Burt Matt had a 4-seamer, cutter, forkball, screwball. He now has a cutter, forkball, curveball. Are we sensing a pattern here? Guess what they didn't patch out? Gene Ardcore, 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, curveball, slider. He now has a 4-seamer, curveball, slider. Glade Gibbs, he had a 4-seamer, curveball, slider. He had no change. Rod Herring, oh dear God, why do I still have him? He had a 2-seamer, screwball, changeup. He now has a 2-seamer, curveball, screwball. I'm at least trying to make him good. Now, I have a 4-seamer, curveball, forkball. Bald Baseball Dad, I don't think he's here. So he had a 4-seamer, slider, changeup. If he does show up, I'll let him adjust his pitch set. Prism Chandler, 4-seamer, curveball, forkball. And Wash Marzo, he had a 2-seamer, he had a 2-seamer, cutter, slider. He now has a 2-seamer, cutter, curveball. Now, I'm limiting everybody to 3 pitches because more room to grow. So Rudo, what I need you to do is I need you to pick 3 pitches. 3 pitches at your discretion. You do need a fastball and you need an off-speed pitch. The game will not let me progress unless you have both. Is that muted? That is not muted. So you need 2 pitches, and you need a fastball and an off-speed pitch. You got your fastballs are cutter, 4-seamer, 2-seamer. Your off-speed pitches are screwball, changeup, forkball, curveball, and slider. Pick 3. Four-seamer, screwball, slider. You just had to be different, didn't you? All right, now. I'm actually gonna... Yes, gotta be me. Where are my options? I don't see my options. Here we go. Here we go. We have sound.
The Standards and Norms Agency invites you to fill out our form FOS20-29Z
Okay, now, another thing.
on our website. You can find that
So,
website at
Rudo, I'm willing to take any pitcher that is a two-way player.
Don't delay, or we'll
Again,
go after
it is a
witnesses.
trait, so I do need to ask you, Rudo, are you a two-way player? Now, when it comes to your pitching position, you're a starter reliever. I'm not giving you a choice. Gotta have some competition. So, Rudo, are you a two-way player? Now, I should bring up that there are strategic elements to being a two-way player. When you're on the field, your mojo does go up and down as you bat. Not so much if you're a pitcher. This is actually a really good way to build your mojo, because it carries over to when you're pitching. So if you're, say, on fire playing second base, then you're on fire when you take the mound. And we'll get to team chemistry here in a little bit. So, Rudo, are you a two-way player? And really all two-way player does is reduce the penalties you take when you play the field. Infield. Okay, now you can only take one. That's not me. That's the game. See? Two-way player is no longer available. Now, pitchers that play the field default to an 85 arm strength. So, Rudo, I think you're going to be an everyday infielder. You were a pitcher first baseman many years ago. You just had to be a first baseman. All right, chemistry. These are your chemistry types. Now, what these do is, I'm sure you noticed that there are 3 different elements to each trait. You know, penalties reduced by 50%, penalty reduced by 75, no fielding penalty. That's dependent on how many players are with that chemistry type. Now, this is a spirited chemistry type. Now, I'm sure you noticed that we have a lot of scholarly players. So, any scholarly trait that we get is going to be less affected than say the discipline type. So traits like utility, let's see. What other scholarly traits are there? Ace Exterminator, Big Hack, Little Hack, Bunner. Those will be less affected by penalties. That being said, Rudo, you need to pick a chemistry type. I have you crafty. You have crafty, competitive, spirited, disciplined, and scholarly. What is your chemistry type? Competitive? All right. So we got more competitive. Beat everybody. Damn Skippy. In fact, I'm actually competitive as well. Alright, so do we have anybody here that would like to join this team? Or anybody that's already on the team that would like to see some changes? You know, to positions or to chemistry type? Anybody?
Keep it tuned to Super Mega Radio, where I may or may not have just spilled last night's or today's coffee all over the mixing board.
Go for Bobcat, you still with us?
May be impacted.
American Motors. Keep it American.
Doesn't seem like it. Alright, so now the league. So as you can see, we got the Reapers. I didn't even have to try for that one. So my question is, so this is the way our league looks like right now. In our division, we got the Icebirds, Tramplers, and Metal Skins. The Hatchets, Prowl, Divine, and Clankers in the Dingers division. I'm probably going to be changing the league name and these division names because what the fuck? Serpents, Freedoms, Skulls, and Fresh Hellions are actually a carryover from our other franchise. Same with the Aquatics. Grapplers, Reapers, of course, Rippers, Champs, Derbies, Finches, Hares, Bone Chills are a carryover. Same with the Furry Flyers. Chirps, Swampers, Cruisers, Gazelles, Ninja, what the fuck are, how do you pronounce that? The Vrooms are a carryover. Same with the Scampers, Cockatoos, and Blowfish. Now, here's the thing. Okay, let's see. So as you can see, the pitching stats we're going up against are actually pretty good. And I actually made that intentionally. And everybody's at least 4 bars. Every pitching staff is at least 4 bars. And there's a reason for that. You see, the teams that you get, and by the way, the Icebirds are our super team, the team that builds our salary cap. The teams that you get, just standard, are not very good. In fact, I made the Reapers one of the best teams, only behind the Icebirds. And in my past experiences, these games do last a little while. In fact, in the team that I've been using to practice with, I scored at least 30 runs 6 times, and at least 40 runs twice. So, our competition is actually really good on the pitching side. Again, this is really just to speed up the game, and a lot of these pitching stats were like 1 bar, 2 bars, so what I did was I went through each and every one of them and raised their pitchers by 2 grades. Well, their weak spots by 2 grades. So, every single pitching staff is at least 4 bars. Well, except for ours, but that's intended. To take a look at the teams we're dealing with.
A pretty unreliable source told me that the name El Viejo doesn't actually refer to the stadium or the church.
Here are the
A
Reapers.
massive shark that swims around the bay and does flips to
I actually made him this good intentionally because, again, the Reapers in 3,
go Salty.
we played them in every postseason except for that final one. They have become our hated rivals. So, why not keep that rivalry going? The Icebirds, by the way, these are the Icebirds. And again, I made them this way to raise salary cap. So that being said, let's go ahead and, just watch a game. So you guys can see the graphics. Let's do Super Mega League. And let's do the Sandcats and the Herbisaurs. Now, one of the things I think that this game does better than Super Mega Baseball 3 is the announcer. I mean, he is hilarious. And a lot of the strike calls, well, Steve is still here. A lot of the strike calls, they actually got kind of funny. Like, that's a strike and a half, my friend. Now, I should bring up that this game is less cartoony.
Welcome back to Colonial Plaza. Get on your horse and let's do the baseball thing.
Let's do that baseball thing. As you can see, the graphics are less cartoony than Super Mega Baseball 3.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 27, Morton Stanberg.
I should also bring up that if you have a name that has a voiceover, then their name is actually spoken when you come up to bat or come into the game. This means that of all the customized players, we got one whose name is going to be voiced. Guess who it is? Of all the players, fucking Angel Rose gets her name voiced. Fucking Angel Rose.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 10, Henry Hamster.
Look, Ma, no hands. Henry Hansen. Yeah, that's actually one of the least you look at some of the reviews on Steam. That's actually one of the least popular elements. If you have a hard hit ball, it will actually sound like somebody shot a gun. I should also bring up that there are some graphical bugs and glitches. For example, when you get a strikeout, you know, the catcher, they go around the horn, a third base, second base, first base. Well, in some cases, the catcher will look to first and throw to third. And in some cases, the feel slower. Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons I made the pitching staffs better than they normally were, because if you're scoring runs, these games could last up to an hour each. You know, my other team, you know, early, I didn't have a game that lasted any less than an hour. Some games even lasted an hour and 15, hour and a half. Oh, we'll get to that in a little bit. You know, just showing off Super Mega Baseball 4 for a little bit.
Batting, the first baseman, number 46, Hercules Bentley.
That's a strike.
Well, if I need to, I'll free swing. I mean, early on, we're gonna score a lot of runs early on. We're gonna win a lot of games. In fact, in my other team, the team that I used to practice, 26 games and we just lost our first. And like I said, in some cases, I even scored 40 runs. So if I need to, I'll free swing just to speed things up. In fact, Rudo, you may recall in season 1, we won. Our games were so far apart that I actually did free swing
Number 65.
just to get the games done and over with.
No, inside ball. That's high.
Oh, that's another thing they added, hecklers.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 40, Yoink Sacks.
Yoink.
Right.
It should be 2. You know, the PA guy, I actually heard him say at one point in time, "With the owner of a blue SUV, please report to your vehicle. It's still on fire."
It's outside.
Center fielder, number 9, Super Sampson.
Right. And a strike.
And by the way, the Stee sound, the animated emote, the Steemote, is still relevant here. It's just quite rare.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 42, Gia Axelson.
Right.
She's a fastball pitcher. In fact, it was my other team where I set a personal record for runs in a game, 45. We ended up getting 63 hits. Oxen Soxen. The fuck kind of a name is that? Yeah, can you just imagine how long these games would take if I got 63 hits?
The second baseman, number 14, Chip Duffers. Batting, the shortstop, number 44, Rodney Hart.
That's a strike. Oh, come on, you can go home. Oh, that's high. We're going to take it from here.
Okay, that's gonna score 2. Okay, the Herbisaurs are... They're not doing well. No, I want a steak.
The throw to the plate will be late.
I got a better call from my ex.
Now back, the shortstop, number 23, Milo Stewart.
Problem is, I haven't heard from my ex in God, 15 years?
Now batting, the second baseman, number 29.
It is.
Isabella Stokes.
And again, I remember watching it live. ALDS against the Mariners.
Now batting, the catcher, number 20, Fiona Clark.
In fact, my dad actually taught me something during that series. The delay for the radio, at least at the time, the delay for TV was like 10 seconds, but for the radio it was only about 5 seconds. So what we would do is, so what we did was we had the game on the TV, but the announcer from the radio. So we actually heard, so we were actually listening to Dave Niehaus at that point, and so Dave Niehaus would tell us what would happen before the TV would. So we actually learned that Ken Griffey Jr. had scored on that play before anybody watching TV. Spoilers. Spoilers to a 30-year-old game.
Ball is inside. That's ball 4.
I mean, live spoilers. Yeah, we did that a couple of times. You know, once during the ALCS and once during, what Super Bowl was that? It was the Ravens and Giants. The Super Bowl between the Ravens and Giants. Otherwise, we just stick to radio or TV.
And a strike.
You know, I think I told this story before.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 12.
In fact, I think I told this story before. During that game, it was past my bedtime, and the Yankees they'd gone into extra innings. The Yankees had taken I think it was a 3-run lead into the 10th. So I'm fighting my mom to allow me to watch the rest of the game, and she's like, the Mariners are losing. They're losing big. So I'm fighting her for that entire inning. So the Mariners start coming back. You got Ken Griffey Jr. on first, and while my mom and I were fighting, we're arguing, Edgar Martinez hits that double. So I turn around. So I turn around, start jumping up and down. Ken Griffey Jr. scores. I looked at my mom and I said, "Now it's bedtime." Oh. They had disengagement limits? I didn't know that. But then again, I never disengage. That's actually accurate to present day rules.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 27, Morton Stanberg.
You have in present day you have 2 pickoff attempts or 3 pickoff attempts. The first 2 are free. If you can't get the third, then the base runner is awarded the next base. I didn't know they put that in here. I will say that I don't see a pitch clock.
Now batting,
Well, that's
third
going.
baseman, number 10, Henry Hamster.
Strike. Foul ball. Ball low.
fielder, number 47, Juan Rojas.
Okay.
Right.
Is there a list of ballparks and dimensions?
Right.
Or am I gonna have to make that?
Duck and cover, everybody!
Right there.
They're whacking
Scoop up a plate of maki at Ground Roll Sushi, located on level 2. Now batting, the designated hitter, number 42, Gia Axelson.
Right.
That was pretty mud.
Now batting, a catcher, number 32, Knox Oxentoxin.
No ball. Nope. Hi. Oh man, I'm gonna put a hanger.
Now batting, a second baseman, number 14, Chip Duffers.
That's a strike.
I don't see the ballparks list.
Nope. Low. Ball. Right.
You got a chip on your shoulder? You've had a horse crap zone all
Oh,
day!
I already updated it.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 44, Rodney Hart. Now batting, the first baseman, number 21, Runt Manley.
Players are now explicitly re-signed or released during a new player re-signing phase before the start of the season. What does that mean?
Right.
Am I gonna have to make these teams even better?
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 65, Ralph Blue.
Low ball. Nope. That's low.
I still don't see the ballparks list.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 40, Yoink Sachs.
That's a bummer. I'm gonna have to make it.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 23, Milo Stewart.
I will say that it is running at a solid 30 frames a second, which, by the way, I'm sure you noticed it is a bit more jerky. That's not on your side. So, Super Mega Baseball 3 ran at a native 60 frames per second. And this is actually one of the reasons I say that pitching in this game is more difficult than in Super Mega Baseball 3. SMB 3 ran at a native 60 frames per second. This game runs at a native 30. So pitching is more jerky than in this game than it was in SMB 3. I mean, sure, in the first couple of seasons, we did have some pitching problems. I mean, we had a 0 accuracy. But I can actually see myself having more problems in this game than we did in 3.
Marsha Brown. Batting, the first baseman, number 46, Hercules Bentley.
They go to the 6th.
If you see
Zen-Cats
the
are
team
still shutting out the
around,
Herbisaurs.
Give them a wedgie for a free slice of sushi poutine.
Give him a wedgie for a free slice of sushi poutine.
Number 29, Annabella Stokes.
Strike, strike, strike.
Now batting, the catcher, number 20, Fiona Clark.
And I've also noticed that starters do last a fair bit longer in this game than they do in Super Mega Baseball 3. And there's actually a trait to increase your durability as well.
Morton Stanberg.
They just have a lot of traits here. Oh, this one's a workhorse. Okay, that's why.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 12, Jess Fowl. Now batting, the center fielder, number 9, Super Sampson.
Oh, that's outside. Ball inside.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 42, Gia Axelson.
Right. No, outside.
Brooks Oxen-Soxen. Now pitching, Chuck Beltwick.
Ball. The right. Too low.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 10, Henry Hamster.
And a strike. Ball, that's outside.
You know what? I just realized it was exactly a year and a half ago today we started this that we started
The right fielder, number 47,
Super Mega Baseball
Juan
3 franchise.
Rojas.
That's all. Thanks for the souvenir.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 21, Runt Manley.
That's down. No, outside. Ball inside.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 65, Ralph Blue.
That's high.
The second baseman, number 14, Chip Duffers.
Right.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 44, Rodney Hart.
Right.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 38, Dolph Spade.
No, outside. And a strike. That's
Now batting, the center fielder, number 40, Yoink Sacks. Now batting, the shortstop, number 23, Milo Stewart.
You're not wrong, Rudo.
No, inside ball. Right.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 29, Annabella Stokes.
Bottom 8, it's still 3-0.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 49, Marsha Brown.
Right.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 46, Hercules Bentley. Now batting, the third baseman, number 12, Jess Fowl.
Ball, that's inside. There's a strike. There's a strike. Strike out, come on!
The center fielder, number 9, Super Hampson.
Strike. Ball inside.
And we go to the 9th, it's 4-0.
I'm pretty sure this happened.
Gerwin Arches is pitching a complete game.
Catcher, number 20, Fiona Clark.
Nope, inside ball. Yes, baby, yes, bro. After all, hey.
Now back. the
They've
left
got 2
fielder,
outs to score
number
at least 4
27,
runs.
Morton Stanberg.
That's a strike. High ball.
And number 2.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 10, Henry Hamster.
Henry Hamster.
No, outside.
3-1, seriously? Last batter and you're up by 4.
Ball four, take the base.
You walked them.
Now
You're
back,
one batter away from a
right
complete
field,
game.
Number 47, Juan Rojas.
Nope, no. That's okay. Nobody saw that. No, you didn't.
And that's ball game. That is Super Mega Baseball 4. Now I'm thinking about it. Not franchise. Customization. Now, I did talk about the uniform a little bit, saying that I couldn't get it exactly right. If this loads. This is what the uniform looks like right now. Let's see, I'm up there right next to Terrence and Bert. Rudo. There's Bald Baseball Dad. There's Prism, Enlog, Angel Rose, Ambers. That's Roy Presidente. Blade Gibbs right there. Draken right there. We got some people that are off frame. Willow's right there. Mia. Now, Rudo. One thing I forgot to do. Arm angle. Now, I have you as a sidearm. Are you over the top, submarine, sidearm, or 3/4? Now, you were a sidearm in Super Mega Baseball 3. You want to remain a sidearm, or you want to go over the top, or submarine, 3/4, something else? Your call. Mid? Oh, so 3/4, okay. Okay. And we will start this franchise on September 13th. We are going to have a 2-week off season because baseball burnout is a thing, as crazy as it sounds. But for now,